Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Wealth Wednesday show. We are so excited to see you once again on such a wonderful Wednesday. We hope that your week has been well and that you are keeping safe, wearing a mask, and maintaining social distancing so that we can together combat COVID 19. So tonight we are so honored to have a guest all the way from Los Angeles, in USA. His name is Mr. Sam. I will not give more introduction so that he can share with us his own introduction, but I would just like to let us know today's topic will be financial literacy and teaching young kids about money. We have all grown up in either a household that either knew how to spend money or they didn't know how to spend money. And unfortunately, most of the habits that we saw in our various households or families, they are the ones that are reflecting now in our adulthood when it comes to how we handle money. So that says it's very important for you as a parent, as a guardian, as a mentor, as a grandparent, as a teacher, as anyone who is around kids to know how you can instill in them noble or great money habits so that when they transit into adulthood, they will be better money managers so that we don't end up with the problems we have right now. We can agree as an adult, maybe you have suffered from bad debt. You've suffered from mismanagement of your funds. You didn't know how to save. You didn't know how to invest. All this stems back to how you were exposed to money as a child. And I would just like to encourage us that it's very important for you to change your generation by acquiring knowledge. Now, if you have been suffering from massive financial debt, you should make it your responsibility to learn how to manage debt so that your children don't suffer or get into the same mistake. So, with that said, keep on tagging your friends, invite as many people as possible, give us a thumbs up down there. If you haven't subscribed, ensure you subscribe, and most of all, bring in your questions, your comment, your feedback. We shall be tackling everything that regards to financial literacy for children. At this juncture, allow me to give Mr. Sam the platform for him to introduce himself and tell us more about Sammy Rabbit. Mr.
Okay.
Sam, welcome.
Oh, thank you, Sheila. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for the wonderful work that you're doing. I'm so delighted to be a part of Wealth Wednesday. It's very exciting, very Sammy-rific, as we like to say. I agree with you wholeheartedly that teaching children about money and starting early is really important so that they can have more financial security, stability, and freedom
Mhm.
in their lives, and so that they might have maybe a better life than the life that we're having. Almost everything we do on an everyday basis somehow relates to money and the way we use it. So it's helping them form the right habits. I'm so happy that you're stressing that word habits because we think habits make a difference. At least that's what Sammy Rabbit thinks. So it's important to have great money habits. And his number one and first and favorite habit that he likes to talk to parents about and teachers to talk to kids and teach kids about is saving money. And so we always say saving, that's putting it in, holding on to keeping it for later. That's a great habit, Sheila.
Perfect.
Says Sammy Rabbit.
That is exactly a visual representation of Sammy Rabbit. You did it so well.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, if they boy, let me just say, if you just take it in baby steps,
Mhm.
one step at a time, consistently. This is the sign Sammy uses for a habit, something we do over and over again and again, a routine, something we repeat, a pattern. So it might be every day, every 2 days, every 3 days, but we make it a habit. Here in the United States, the smallest amount of money is a penny. One penny is the unit. So you know what? You can start children with pennies, even adults. Sure, it doesn't add up a lot, maybe a lot of money, but what it does is it starts building the habit. The habit. And then pretty soon, one of the powerful things about habits is they expand, they increase, they grow. So then you might go to 2 pennies, 3 pennies, and then you just keep slowly increasing. It's the same way when you think about it, like when you exercise. You walk a little bit, then you walk a little bit more. You're building your money muscles, your money mindset. And so that's an important behavior and habit you want to get into kids' heads when they're very young, as you said, as you shared. So you get them on the right path.
Wow. That was so perfect, Mr. Sam. I didn't expect the introduction to go that much, and I must say, you really have shared with us deeply what Sammy Rabbit is and how we need to, start incorporating habits in our kids. So that will lead us to our first question: what is financial literacy in children's language? Because from the vast experience you've had for the last 20 years, I know you have had the exposure to know which language do children relate more when it comes to talking about money. Because the language a person uses to talk to a child about dancing or about discipline, I believe should be different from the language you use when you're talking about money. So you could maybe help us shed some light on that.
Okay, I'll share with you my thinking, my strategy. I agree partially with
Mhm,
you. I let me just say, I think it is a communication issue. So how do we
mhm,
communicate these ideas, whatever the ideas? Every parent needs to decide, what thinking, what concepts they want their children to learn. Now, I will say
mhm,
there are some basic, well known formulas that work, like saving a part of your money and making it a habit. So hopefully that will be a part of your philosophy. Spending all your money all the time will not create financial stability or financial freedom or financial security. So that's like, think of it like a recipe, your favorite recipe. That's a bad recipe. All right. no, no,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
no one's going to like that. So I don't like to say talk down to kids. So
Mhm,
I like to think, what, they can get the concepts if we, the teachers, can explain them. So I try and figure out language that they might understand, but then I use normal language. I combine them together because even if they don't understand it, I think it's important that they hear the words. So we're education to me. We're planting seeds. We're planting seeds. And one day they may grow. They may grow a little bit. They may not grow at all, but then they might really sprout out. So if I'm talking about compound interest to a 4-year-old, I'll say, you know what? Money, it likes to grow and grow and grow. It will get bigger and bigger. It will increase. It will compound if you make a habit of saving it. Everybody, give yourselves a big round of applause. All right. And what? Hey, you know what, Sheila? You just you
mhm.
just you just learned a real college word, compound. Everyone say compound. Repeat after me, Sheila. Compound
Compound
means it means
means.
to get
Mhm.
bigger, to get larger, to increase, to grow, to multiply. And so a word like big, that's a word a child can understand. So
Yes.
now I like to give them 2 or 3 words like big, grow, increase, and then say that's what compound means. So they hear the word, they may not remember it, or maybe they will, because kids remember a lot of stuff, but they start making those associations, those connections. They're getting familiar with the idea. And then the second thing I would say is the way you communicate it is important. See, right away, like when I first got onto this broadcast before we started, you were there with a big smile, and right away I felt good. Okay. So, so now, right now, you notice I'm sharing this information with joy and enthusiasm. And so that's just like COVID, it's infectious. All right. And so the kids, they will get a positive feeling about it, and that might create a good memory or mindset. It might hook on there. It might grow, and it's important to do that because we put that one message in, then they go and talk to their friends or they listen to TV or whatever, and they're going to be getting all these other messages. Spend your money, buy candy, buy videos, buy this. And you know what? A little bit of that is okay, but they also need that message about saving and compounding and those things. So, yes, let's figure out how to communicate it, what the words are, how we want them to feel about it also, and then mix in a little bit of the adult language, decide what's appropriate, and you can look at the kids a lot of time. There's different ways to measure how much they're understanding. So don't underestimate what kids can learn. I think I read something you wrote about, we need to talk to kids early about money, like age 2 or 3. I think you're exactly right. Kids, when you think about it, they're little learning machines. That's all they do. Now, they can't always explain what they're learning, but when they come out into earth, we like to say, since Sammy the Rabbit likes to say, when they hop out into the world,
Yeah.
all what they open their eyes and their ears are there, and they're just taking in information. They're just taking in information. They're learning. Now they're not good talkers yet, but that doesn't mean they're not learning. So don't expect them to be able to explain things, but when they are able to explain things, or you see them demonstrating that they understand something, like maybe at the grocery store or somewhere, then make sure to praise and appreciate it when that happens. And you never know, kids will surprise and amaze you with their knowledge. They're just absorbing everything. They're little learning machines. But you just take it in baby steps. That's all, and try and do it. Let me get my hand in the picture there. I keep forgetting. Just keep doing it over and over, again and
Yeah.
again. Make it a habit.
Wow. That was indeed some horrific.
Oh,
Um,
thank you, Sheila.
That one, I must confess, it was indeed sumerific. You have really explained it profoundly, because I understand. I have a nephew, and when he was young, we used to put him to watch cartoon program on TV. So by the time he turned 1.5 years, he was already, every time the program came up with the song, he would dance along but couldn't speak the words. Right? So
Yes,
the same way you are saying, we need to communicate to the children. They may not say the words, but they are having the picture in their mind. Then after a
yes,
while, they are gonna piece up everything and know, okay, this is how it happens. And as you said, they have little machines. They always like to surprise us. I really like
absolutely.
that point.
Yes, I think you're right on. I was reading something that you had wrote, and I thought this is just right on the point. Is kids, even adults, we imitate our parents, we imitate television, we imitate our friends. We're creatures who imitate. So this is a tip also for parents. I think it's one of your other questions, so forgive me. I may be jumping a little bit ahead, but one of the things we want to do as adults is try our best. That's all we can do, to lead by example. To lead by example. Now, if some days we're able to do it, maybe some days we're not. If we don't, just like when you fall off your bicycle, get back on it. Just start over. Try again. And then here's another thing. If you're a parent, don't worry if you're not able to lead by example. Don't let that stop you from still teaching. I'll give you an example. When I was growing up, my parents were smokers, okay? And so that wasn't a good behavior to role model, but they did it anyways. But they would always tell us, we don't want you to smoke, okay? And so sure, it's a little bit of conflict, but you know what?
Yeah.
Somehow in my heart, I really believe they didn't want me to smoke, and I didn't smoke. So what I'm proud of them is, even though they were not able to do it themselves, they still gave me the information, the right path to choose. And so I was able to figure it out. And that's life is not perfect. So, give your kids the right information, even if you're not always perfect.
Honestly, I must say that you are very right. It's not all the time as a parent you will be perfect. Life is not perfect, to be honest, but try your best to instill some virtues. And as you said, yes, I did a post earlier on today where I said kids learn by imitating. We also learn by imitating. If I keep watching a certain person for the next 1 month, I'll start dressing like them, I'll start talking like them.
Yes.
It's more of imitation on what we feed our eyes and minds on. And at
Yes.
the
Oh, I
same
love that.
time,
It's what we feed our eyes and mind on. I'm going to have to quote you. That's beautiful.
we need to do another show on Sami Rabbit because you've been quoting me for a lot of times. But another thing I wanted to say is that you mentioned that sometimes a parent may not be able to show the characters that he or she wants the child to have, but at least he or she can give the child information. And
Yes.
and I want to relate that to myself because I actually did another post yesterday where I said you may not be privileged as a parent to pass down assets to your children, but you can pass down financial education to them. Just the same way as your parents were smokers, sorry to use this example, but they passed down to you that smoking is not good for your health. So in as much as they didn't showcase to you all the good characters, you had the information I shouldn't smoke. So you turned
Yes.
out to be a non-smoker. The same way my parent didn't pass to me assets, but she passed to me financial education, although in an old school way, but it has now helped me to become a better adult. So it's very important to our audience that is watching. If you are feeling like you're failing, your actions are not in line with what you'd want to appear, just focus on giving your child the correct information. We believe it's going to help them in the near future.
It's very
So,
interesting. I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead. I wanted to go to the next
It's
section.
very interesting you shared that, because that's
Mm-hmm,
exactly what happened to me, not only with smoking, but with money
mm,
as well. My parents didn't give me any assets either, but
mm-hmm,
my dad especially, he
mm.
filled my head with financial knowledge, and he also filled my head with encouragement and hope, and saying, Sam, if you follow the recipe, these rules, you can do better financially. And so that was his gift, to me just as it was to you. So that's beautiful. That's perfect. I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just allow me to to read one comment from one of our viewers, Mr. Benjamin Nathan. He's saying, "Nice, tuned in, awesome moment. Thank you so much, Benjamin, for joining us all the way from Ghana. He's in Africa. So we really appreciate your support, Mr. Benjamin, and of course, keep sharing the link with your friends, and let's get learning in a Samirific way." So Mr. Sam, the second question, maybe you can just touch base on it because you already talked about it. It will be, when is the right time to start teaching kids about money? Um,
Go ahead.
because I did a session some time back, like 2 weeks ago, for parents, and most of them, it was, I did the session to teach them, to share with them how they can start teaching their children about money, and most of them were like, I think my child can start to learn about money when they are teenage. But I was here telling them, no, when they are teenage, they are already out of the learning stage. This is the time you need to put them into action, like get them a debit card, get them give them responsibilities. But you need to instill the characters while they are still young. And it was kind of a hot debate because they were feeling, nah, my baby is too small. He's only 7 years. He can't grasp all these. So, as a person with experience in the children financial literacy, what is the recommended age, and how would you recommend parents to do it?
Okay, I want to make several recommendations.
Mhm.
And first, I maybe I should have shared this before, but I'll share it now. Any
Mhm.
person who is looking for help teaching young kids about money, that's what Sammy Rabbit can help do. All right.
Yeah.
That's why we created Sammy the Rabbit. And even if you're good at teaching kids, if you want some extra help or support, Sammy the Rabbit can do that. So he works in a lot of different ways. So here's some of my advice. I agree with you. Let me just say that. I'm like, boy, you should have been here 30 years ago, Sheila. All right. it's
I'm
it's
not
like
yet there.
it's like the whole financial industry, literacy industry, they all want to focus on teenagers. Let me just say, we need financial literacy for teenagers, but it's way too late to start when they're teenagers. Okay. That's not to say that you might not have some good results, but it's just way too late. You're exactly right. They're already forming these ideas, these associations, thinking, feeling habits when they're 2, they're 3, they're 4. Now there's research that says, and this will be my first piece of advice, that says adult money habits, they're set by age 7. So let me say, start at age 7 or before. Okay. So that's one rule. Now here's another rule. Start as early as you can. That could be at while they're still in the womb. It could be at 1. It could be at 2. It could be at 3. It could be at 4, 5, 6. But definitely don't start later than 7. You just do it in baby steps. That's one part. And then number 2, you need consistency. So maybe you have a family meeting once a week, once a month, but just try to be as consistent as you can about it. Now, depending on when you start, as I said, you just start in baby steps. So let's just say you have a real small baby. They're like 1 month or 2 or 3 years old. As you were saying, I think it was your nephew was like 1 years old. He's watching cartoons and he hears
Mhm.
songs and he starts dancing. Well, let me just say, Sammy the Rabbit has songs. Play your child 10 songs, make one of them a Sammy song. Now, if they're sitting there and they're eating, a lot of people have rattles.
Mhm.
Okay. So
Mhm.
make a little jar that they can see through. It needs to be clear. And then put a little penny in. And you say, how do you pronounce your last name? It is Afonde?
Yeah.
You say, the Afondes, we like to save money. And you put a penny in and then you rattle it. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Right, 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 right.
And so you also, as a parent, you practice the language. Even if your child doesn't get it, you're practicing the language. The
Mm-hmm.
Afondes, it's simple words. The Afondes like to save money. Now, if you want to teach them something about spending, the Afondes spend smart. All right. We just don't spend, we spend smart.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That right there is an affirmation actually.
So you can play with your children. You're already playing with your children, but think of these like little scenes in a play. So you have one scene, it's just about cartoons, but you put one scene in there, it's a little money message. You shake the bank, and if they start crying, stop shaking it.
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
but
yeah.
but if they get a big smile, put in another penny, 2 pennies.
Mm,
We save
mm,
money. We like to build up our futures. They don't know but they see the building. They don't know what that, but you're having fun with them. Now, what's great about life, say they start getting 3 or 4. Here's another opportunity. When they start asking you either for money or they say, buy me this or I want this, that might be at 3 or 4 or 5 year olds. That's another chance now to start teaching them about money. Now, if they're 3 or 4 years old and say maybe they get a present for a birthday or for a holiday and there's money, that's another opportunity. If you go to the store and you're going to buy something, that's another opportunity. So there's a lot of these opportunities. If you're teaching your children to write, so a lot of times they have kids, they'll start tracing words, simple
yeah.
words with 1 letter, 2 letters, 3 letters.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
you might have them trace the word money or the word save or the word give or the word spend. Put those words into your learning to write activities. Just put a little, it's like putting a little pepper or salt on your food. Put a little money into your activities. Just the words. It doesn't have to be a whole big lesson. Spell the word save. Trace the word. Save, what's that? Oh, then maybe, oh, save. You put your money into a bank
You-
for for later, Sheila. Not now. Not now. Later, like tomorrow or next week or next month. That's later. So with kids, say, or later today. It's the morning, maybe this afternoon. So those are little small pieces. So start early. Start early before 7.
Wow. There has been a demand or a request in the comment section. We see Mr. Lionel Shipman has joined in and he's saying, please ask Sam to sing a money song. Do it, Sam. Sing for us,
Okay.
especially the save song, the save
Okay.
money song.
Okay, I'm
There
gonna
you
I'm
go.
gonna I'm gonna teach you the words. Okay, and I'll sing a little bit, but I'm the most famous person in the world who sings off key, so you have to know that. All right. Let me say first of all, thank you, Lionel Shipman, Lionel Empowerment Shipman in
Chip.
Florida. He is an awesome educator and author who communicates not only about money but about family. And to me,
Yeah.
that's one of the big reasons why I'm in this is I want to see stronger families. I want to see them in the United Arab Emirates. I want to see them in Florida. I want to see them in Ghana. Thank you, Benjamin. By the way, check out Peter Nyarko in Ghana. He's doing great work with financial literacy. All right, everyone, follow me. This song is called "Get in the Habit." Here are the words. Everybody go like this: Get in the habit. So you just take your hand
Get
and
in there.
like Sammy Rabbit. Up, saving money all the time. Get in the habit. Like Sammy Rabbit. Up, saving money all the time. Get in the habit. Like Sammy Rabbit. Up, saving money all the time. Get in the habit. Like Sammy Rabbit. Up, saving money all the time. Get in the habit. Like Sammy Rabbit. Up, saving money all the time. Get in the habit. Like Sammy Rabbit. Up, saving money all the time. Get in the habit. Like Sammy Rabbit. Up, saving money all the time. Get in the habit. Like Sammy Rabbit. Up, saving money all the time. Get in the habit. Like Sammy Rabbit. Up, saving money all the time. Get in the habit. Like Sammy Rabbit. Up, saving money all the time. Get in the habit. Like Sammy Rabbit. Up, saving money all the time. Get in the habit. Like Sammy Rabbit. Up, saving money all the time. Get in the habit. Like Sammy Rabbit. Up, saving money all the time. Get in the habit. Like Sammy Rabbit. Up, saving money all the time. Get in the habit. Like Sammy Ra Sheila, you can do it.
Okay, okay, let's go.
Now let's get to it. From every dollar, save a dime. From every dollar, save a dime. You know, I love that song. That's Sammy's favorite song. It's called "Get in the Habit."
Mm-hmm.
That might be the most powerful, most fun 2 minutes in all of financial literacy. In a minute, I'm going to see if I can play it on the phone so people can hear it. But I played that song all over the world. Kids can learn it right away. There's a lot of
Yeah,
videos of it on YouTube. They are free. Everybody is welcome to use it. It will make your child happy. And it will give them some powerful lessons. Like here's one, it doesn't have anything to do with money. I love this message. Sheila, you can do it. You can do it, Sheila. You
oh
can.
yes, I can do it.
And then that what follows that lyric up is now get to it. Now get to it. You have to do something. You got to take action. Then just imagine now in the US, a dollar is 100 pennies and a dime is 10. So it's 10%. It's like a Bible message, tithing. Take 10%, 10% at least. Now kids can do more than that. That's up to the parents. But at least
Yeah.
make a habit, a routine, a routine that
Mm-hmm.
every time you earn or receive money, cuz kids receive money a lot. Take at least a dime and put it away for later, not now. So from every dollar, save a dime. And then it uses the word get in the habit. So there's a lot of powerful words there. Now, later in the song, it says, it's not funny when you don't have money. Okay. So if you're not saving, that's going to lead to problems. Now, everybody can't save the same amount, so don't worry about that. As I said, if you can't save a dime, start with the penny, build the habit. And then later in the song, it also says, you can watch your money grow and grow and grow. And you and I know, and Lionel knows, and probably Benjamin and Ghana knows, when you make a habit of saving, your pile of savings is going to grow. Sheila, it's going to multiply. It's going to compound. Okay.
Definitely.
And so
That
uh,
was,
there you go. I
you know,
hope that helps you there, Lionel. I didn't quite sing it, but I'm going to see if I can find the song here.
yeah, yeah. And
So
actually, the song is not just for kids. Even me, I've become addicted to them. Every day I have to play at least one song because it brings some motivation. So I would encourage everyone watching us, the songs in Sami Rabbit channel on YouTube. They are the best songs to get you started on your day. If you want to get active, go there, watch those songs and do the activities they are saying. You will be more excited, and I believe your child will be more than happy. So, Sam, are you ready?
I think I am. I'm going to put it right now. Let me know if you can hear it.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, I can hear.
Everybody, get in the habit. Like Sammy Rep, saving money all the time. You can do it. So I'm going to just stop it there. That's the chorus. And go online. I will send you a link, Sheila, so you can post it for people. Play
Yeah.
that song with your kids. It will not, as you said, it will not only brighten up their day, it will brighten up your day too.
Exactly. I really, really second you on that, Sam. Personally, the songs have been brightening up my day. That's why my smile is bigger than Sammy Rabbit's. So, and it communicates money language in a very fun way. Personally, one of the goal we are trying to achieve in Financial Wellness Center is to make conversation around money to be fun. We are so used in, if someone wants to speak about finance, they'll come in a suit, carrying a briefcase, stone face, because they want to talk about money. Even in our families, when the parents want to talk about money, they tell the kids, go to the bedroom. This is an adult conversation. Financial Wellness Center is trying to change that mentality. We want to make conversation around money to be fun, engaging, and something that everyone can enjoy to talk about, such that we have a
Absolutely.
society where you're not ashamed to talk about your debt. You're not ashamed to talk about your saving strategy. You're not ashamed to talk about your investing, because it will be a healthy financial society. So I can see a lot of people are commenting. We shall just get back to them later on. We'll go to the next question. I think you've already covered it, which is the best way to teach kids about money that parents, teachers, and guardians can adopt. Maybe if you have something to add on it.
Okay, so number one, if you're able to lead by example, nothing is better than that. All right,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
then two, I think learning by doing is very powerful. So you might give your kids a short message like, you know what, I think it's important for you to save money. Now let's do a saving project. Oh, let's make a little savings jar. Let's decorate it. Let's make our own little savings jar, and then maybe you start them off. Here's a penny, a nickel to start them off. So that's a project. Or you have them listen to a song and then draw a picture. Sheila, draw a picture of you at the bank going to get your $1 million that you've been saving. Okay. Or,
Woohoo!
woo-hoo! Okay. That's a great
Yeah.
that's a great day. You know, so
Mm.
so get them involved. You could use videos, and here's the third thing is use different approaches. So one day, maybe you have them reading a book. One day, maybe you have them doing an activity. Another day,
Mhm.
maybe you have them listening to a song. Another day, maybe you're going out to the store and you let them hand the money or use the card to make the payment, and they get the change and count it. Or you let them choose what to buy, or maybe they make a list. So mix up your strategy. So lead by doing, get your kids involved, learn by doing, and then use different approaches. And don't be afraid to keep going over the same messages, because that's what creates skill and mastery. But try to do it different ways. So our number one main message is saving is a great habit, but we teach it with storybooks, we teach it with songs, we teach it with activities. So we have a lot of different ways of saying the same thing. So those would be my basic tips.
Wow. I must say, Samira Bits should be incorporated in every school, in every church, everywhere. Everywhere there's a parent or a potential parent, because you see, the concept you're bringing out is very, very critical. Uh, Most people, kids get bored very easily and quickly. So if you keep on doing or saying the same thing in the same manner, they will get bored with you. But if you keep doing the same thing but in a different way and making it more fun and engaging, it makes it easy for them to grasp the lessons and the concept. And I think that is one way, as a parent or a guardian, you can adopt to our audience, to start teaching your children about money. You also say that, just to highlight on the previous question on what age is the right age to start teaching children, you mentioned something that even when the child is in the womb, you can start incorporating some money affirmations. And it's actually coincidence, because I did a post today on our WhatsApp status, where I was encouraging people that every time as a family you get to conceive a child, don't wait until the child is out. Then that is when you start trying to incorporate certain characters, especially when it comes to money. You can start speaking positive affirmations to the child. You can
Yes.
say, baby, you are a good spender, you are a good saver, you're a smart financial child, because it when you speak a word, it generates energy, and the
Yes.
energy goes to the child, so it forms part of their mindset as they are growing in the womb. So by the time they come out, you've already laid some foundation. Anyway, for the
Yes.
interest of time, we'll go to the next question.
Oh, before you go, I
Um,
want, if Lionel's still there and Benjamin and Ghana, everybody say, "Woo! Yes!"
yeah, yeah, let us say
Woo. Good,
woohoo!
good job, Sheila.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You're exactly right. We have to give you praise. We're pushing you up. Go, Sheila.
Yeah,
Go,
yeah,
Sheila.
good, good. Thank you so much, Sam. So, to our audience, we really hope you are enjoying this, and we encourage you to leave us some comment, any feedback you have, any question you have. We have Sam, who is the founder of Sammy Rabbit. He brings on board his 20 years experience teaching children, youths, and families on how they can introduce financial education to their families, to their companies, everywhere. So this is your time. Bring in your feedback, your question, and anything you want to say. I can see Leonel, you are saying, woohoo, yes, definitely. We
All right, we got it going. That away. Way to go, Lionel.
yeah, 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 exactly. So our next question is what are the tools that one can use to foster money habits in children? Any recommended investment tools or saving strategy?
Well, uh, I try to just stick to what I'll call the basics, the fundamentals. So when you're
Mm-hmm,
talking about small children,
mm-hmm,
I think there's two things, you know, you want to do. You want to make sure that they have something to save in at home where they can put, again, I'm using the US names for money. So dimes, nickels, pennies, quarters, coins,
mm-hmm,
so that they can
mm-hmm,
see it. And then one of the strategies is you want to put some money in there with them so that they see it growing. Give them an
mm-hmm,
incentive, match it. Now, it's okay too if you want to give them some work to do that you might want to pay them, like, whatever the right amount is, a dime or a dollar, to do whatever it is that you think, so that they can learn to earn. You know, I have to share your story. It's one of my favorite stories. Your, your,
Go ahead,
your.
please.
Okay, thank you. Your story that you shared with Sammy the rabbit when you were a young child and you gave a presentation and you won an award and they gave you some money as the award. And then I believe your mother said to you, Sheila, I don't want you to spend all that money on candy. Maybe you can spend a little bit on candy, but I want you to take that money and buy a hen, and that hen will lay eggs, and you can take those eggs, I'm going to say, to the market and sell them and make more money. You know,
Money. Mm-hmm.
that's one of the things Sammy Rabbit says about money. The magic of money is it will make more money for you if you let it. And your mom helped you to learn how to let it multiply and grow. And so I love that. I love that story, and that's right now my number one favorite story to share with everybody all over the world. And so good job. Here's an applause for your mom. A circle round of applause. That's great parenting. And now you're a little bit older now. I'm not going to try and guess how old you are, but that has stayed in your mind. And
Yeah.
not only has it stayed in your mind, what you shared with us, you're still using that strategy. So
Mm-hmm.
what you want to try to do with your kids is help them develop the habit of saving. So you can do it at home, and then also establish a bank account with them. It could be at a real physical bank, or now on your phone with the digital bank, and then have them participate a little bit as you think is appropriate, So they see, oh, this is my money too, and it's growing a little bit. So I think those are the two areas where you begin, and then education, it's a process. From there, you just keep building a little bit more. So I personally, I would start with saving. Now, some people, one of my good friends and colleagues, she thinks differently. She agrees with
Mm-hmm.
us, but she thinks you start with teaching kids how to make choices. So you might say, do you want to save or spend? I don't like that question because I know a kid's going to say, I want to spend.
Of course, on candy, especially candy, is just something else for kids.
That's what I love. That's why I love your mom. Your mom knew that too. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Let's go get some candy. But let me say, I also think she's right, and she makes a powerful point. Learning how to make
Mm-hmm.
We need to teach kids how to learn how to make choices. Now, personally,
Mm.
I might do that second or third, but maybe you should do it first. So my main point about education, it's a process. So you keep introducing new lessons. So maybe there'll be a lesson about giving, a lesson about spending smart. There might be 10 lessons about spending smart or about giving, or about making choices. And then maybe you want to talk to your kid about having goals. Oh, how much are we going to try and save? This year, we'll try to save $1. And
Mm.
if you saved a penny every day, you'd have $3.65. So if your goal was $1 at the end of the year, is everybody ready for the Yahoo dance? Woo! Give yourselves
Yeah.
a
Oh,
pat on the
oh.
back. All right. Way to go, says Sammy the rabbit. And so you bring the Sheila smile, the joy, and so they say, wow, this is good. I want to keep doing this. And if they
Mm.
step back and they don't want to, sometimes that happens. You need to be patient. You, you need to keep trying to move forward, but you might have to change your strategy. You keep your eye on your child. Nobody knows your children better than you. So if that strategy is not working, maybe you wait a week or 2 weeks or a day or whatever it is, and then maybe you try a different strategy, a different approach. But form that habit. Start early. Get them in the habit of saving. Move to spending smart. Move to setting goals. Move to giving. Move to planning. Those are some of the move to how do you make the right choices. And it just starts simple. Choices. Would you like this or that? We save first, then we spend. Things like affirmations, just like you said, we're good spenders. Good spenders. Well, good spenders save first, then spend. Okay.
Yeah, that is very true. Good spenders save fast. We should actually add on good spenders, uh, earn first, save second, spend third.
All right. Beautiful. Yes. Okay. So it's interesting that you said that because our second message is on earning. So the reason we did it that way is because kids often receive money, they don't always earn it. So we said, let's
Mm-hmm.
start with saving, but earning is a powerful, important, message. That's another one. The Sammy Rabbit friends and fans, we're earners. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We are earners.
We're earners,
Okay.
and we like to build wealth on Wednesdays, Mondays, Sundays. We like to
Every
build
single
wealth
day.
every day.
Yeah. So our next question is let's talk about debt. Is it okay for the parents to take credit cards or debt for their teen children or even acquire properties under their children's name on loan?
Okay, I'm not going to get too much into this now. So when you're talking about debit and credit cards, usually you're talking about teenagers or
Mm-hmm.
preteens. Now, I will
Yes.
say this. I won't be surprised in 5 years or 10 years. We may have
Mm-hmm.
to be giving lessons to even younger kids because everything now we're just swiping. We're moving away from tangible hard currency. It still exists, but there's a lot more ways, cashless ways to purchase things. And so those are with cards. I don't know what they'll be in the future. So if you want your kids to be confident and capable, we need to teach them these lessons. But just understand this: credit cards, not so much debit cards, but credit cards especially,
Mm-hmm.
they can be positive, but they can also be really, really negative. So they take a lot of managing, a lot of stewardship, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of monitoring, a lot of tracking. But you need to understand and have the knowledge and be capable and confident of using those tools. And so we need to give kids lessons on that. So that's really all I want to say about that. I now I'm going to just say regarding the mortgages and taking it out in kids' names. I'm not an expert in that area, but I will tell you I don't like that idea. All right, but talk to some other person who's an expert on that. That is not me.
That is very true. I actually agree with your ideology. It's not good to set your kids under a debt foundation, but it's good
Okay.
to teach them how to use these tools. It's good to let them know because we are moving into a cashless world. So it's important for you as a parent, let them know there exists a credit card, there exists a debit card. Because one thing that I found out from most of the clients we have who have a problem with massive credit card debt is that they never knew about credit cards until they became adults and they got employment and they had the opportunity to acquire a credit card the way they want. So
Mm,
you find that this person, they took the credit card without knowledge on how it works and how it can lead you into, more trouble. So as a parent, it's very important. Don't get it for the child, but let them know about it. As I always say, information put into action is power. So
yes. Uh oh. Yes.
yeah, that
Go
so
Sheila.
yeah, go. So I will read some few comments here. I see Joel Sinas, you're saying you're watching. Thank you so much, Joel, for watching. I believe he's watching us from Kenya.
Oh,
And Lionel is saying, I think, no, Benjamin is saying, I think this song is also great for the elderly because it makes saving and investing encouraging. And the same Benjamin is also saying, I'll begin showing your videos to my princess. Please do it.
thank you.
Even if you have other kids around you, maybe for your Sunday school or your church or a society community, please introduce them to Sammy Rabbit and they will get to learn more. Because that is one of the goal of Sammy Rabbit, to help people acquire financial literacy, not just in the USA, but globally. So we are almost coming to an end. So to our audience, keep bringing in your question. It has been an amazing session. I call it a summerific session. So we've learned a lot on how we can teach young kids about money, courtesy of Sammy Rabbit. And we are honored to have the founder, Mr. Sam, share with us all this wisdom he has. Personally, I'm like, keep going. So uh, keep your questions coming in. If you have any question, if you have any concern, or if you have any topic that you feel Mr. Sam can answer or can help you more on about it, just comment it and we shall be reading it out after some time. So Mr. Sam, the next question will be, how can we encourage kids and parents to secure their future? Or we just YOLO?
Well, I think we've pretty much covered that. You start by talking to them about smart
Mhm,
ways to use and manage money. So financial
mhm,
literacy really it's trying to help kids or adults understand how to use money so that they can
mhm,
get what they want and what they need when they want and need it. So it's all about managing, stewarding, using it wisely. This is what Sammy the Rabbit says. He says, it's smart, real smart, to have great money habits. And so you start by starting early, talking to your
mhm,
kids about money, and you just keep building and building on that relationship, on that education. Then what you
mhm,
might do, it's like tune into the Financial Wellness Center with Sheila. Start putting people in your lives who share your values. Start reading
yeah,
blogs. Start reading
mhm,
books like Lionel's book, Sacred Vows. Okay,
yeah,
give yourself, position yourself as much as you're able to succeed, to win. And the way to do that is to get people who share your values around you, so that you're picking up your the things that you really believe in your heart. You start doing in your life. You start actualizing. And so you get around people just like today. Sheila, thank you so much for sharing the Sammy Rabbit message, for cheerleading and championing our work. Uh, Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. And a big Sammy yes, Rabbit hug, and thanks and much love to everyone, to you and to your entire audience. Just start having more conversations, having more experiences. You don't have to overdo it. You could just say, you know what?
mhm.
I think teaching children about money is important. What do you think, Sheila?
I think it's super, super important, but we shouldn't overdo it. Life is to be enjoyed with, you can teach with moderation. Don't be that very serious parent that the child starts to get scared. Every time the child sees you is like, oh, financial education is here, Be do everything with moderation, and most of all, try your best. You cannot be perfect, but you can do your best. So, our last question will be: what are the challenges one expects to encounter while teaching kids about money? Because I believe you have had various platforms where you've interacted with kids. Maybe you could share with us what are the challenges that came out from the different projects you have done when it comes to teaching children, and maybe you can also share what are the challenges Sammy Rabbit encounters when it comes to teaching money to kids.
Okay, well, let me just say, there are all kinds of challenges. The challenges are endless. so, so, so let me just say, let's pretend if you're just teaching your own children, the number one challenge is to grab their attention, or maybe it's easy for you to grab their attention, but keeping their attention, that's a
Mm,
problem. So we've talked about a lot of strategies, and I agree with you completely. You don't want to overdo it. You want to do it,
mm,
but you don't want to overdo it. So
yeah.
that's one challenge. Now, say for me, if you're trying to teach other people's children, just trying to get someone to approve that, you have to get approval. So you need a teacher to approve. You might need a parent to approve. You might need a
Mm,
community organization, your faith based. You need them to approve that. So those are some of the challenges, or they may or may not agree and say, "Oh no, it's not important." It can
mm,
get discouraging sometimes. That's a challenge. That's why, hey, plug into this podcast every week, because that will re-energize your spirit. So those are a couple of the challenges. So there's a lot of them. People have different feelings about it, but in today's in today's environment, I do think one of the hardest challenging challenges is just getting people's attention. People are very busy. Everyone's trying to grab their attention. So, form networks, form relationships, form collaborations, just like what we're doing. Find people with similar values and then start slowly building. Now, let me just share this also. We're living at an amazing time related to financial literacy. It's you're in the United Arab Emirates. I'm in Los Angeles. Lionel's in Florida. Benjamin is in Ghana, but we're all
Yeah.
together. This wasn't possible when I started. All right.
Mhm.
So 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 even though there's a lot of challenges, there's a
Mm.
lot more financial literacy available, and it's everywhere. It's easy. It's never been easier to access it. You just need to access it. So instead of play a game for 1 hour, but for 15 minutes, have your child listen to the Sammy Rabbit song or do some other financial literacy activity. There is a lot of financial literacy out there. If your school doesn't teach it, don't worry about it. It's online. Now, let me just say, sure, encourage your school to teach it. That would be helpful, but you don't have to wait for that. That's my point is right now, today, if you don't have a cell phone, go to a library, go to a school, go to a neighbor's house. There are ways to get access. It's never been easier, even though it still may be harder for some people than others. But for many people, this is really what troubles me. Sheila, is even people with very limited resources, they could be getting
Mhm.
this information today, right now, right when we're done.
Yeah.
They can get it. They
Mhm.
can go on YouTube and listen to this
Mm.
Sammy Rabbit song.
Mm.
That they don't have to wait for anything. You should do that. That can change just what we said in the beginning. You articulated this perfectly. This can help your child have a much better life and help more people have better lives themselves. I think that's what we want to do. We want to keep improving life for everyone around the world. That's possible today. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually, with technology, it has made the world to become like one global village. Anything you need, it's just at a click of a button. So nobody should have an excuse why they don't teach themselves or their children about money. And I must say, Mr. Sam, that was so, so profound of you. You have really discussed this issue in a very, very smart and wise way. So we are coming to the end of the show. Personally, it has been indeed a samirific one, and I'm so excited. Thank you so much. I have learned a lot of things, and of course, Sami Rabbit remains to be my favorite channel. Every morning, I have to listen to a song just to brighten up my day and instill some financial tips that I might be needing to remember during the day. So, to our audience, if anyone has a question, you can feel free to post in the comment section, as well as I will be sharing the link to Sami Rabbit YouTube channel and also Sami Rabbit website so that you can get to familiarize yourself with all the Sami Rabbit songs, books, everything you need about teaching a child about money. You can get it on their website, and of course you can as well watch their YouTube channel, and definitely ensure you subscribe once you are there. Don't just watch the song. As you watch, subscribe so that at the time they are uploading a new song or a new video, you'll be the first person to know and get to enjoy it. So, with that said, I encourage you to keep on following us on Instagram, Financial Wellness Center. You may also visit our Facebook page, Financial Wellness Center, and give us a like. And of course, please ensure you press the subscribe button below and turn on the bell so that we can meet on next Wednesday for the Wealth Wednesday show with another topic. at this juncture, allow me to give Mr. Sam the platform to share with us his contact details, especially for Sammy Rabbit and anything else he would want to share about Sammy Rabbit. Mr.
Well,
Sam, please.
thank you. I just want to say thank you for me and Sammy Rabbit. And you can find our information at sammyrabbit.com. That's SAMMYRABBIT.com. SammyRabbit.com. There's a lot of free information available. There's also some other stuff that you can buy if you want to, but there is a lot of free information. Our YouTube is free. So there, go get at it. Go get at it. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Sheila, and thanks everybody for tuning in.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sam. We are so honored as Financial Wellness Center Fraternity to have you join us during the show. It has been an amazing one. We really want to appreciate you for your time, and we look forward to doing more shows with you. And definitely, we look forward to also becoming part of Sammy Rabbit in some near future in very unique ways. So until then, thank you so much to our audience. We really appreciate you. Thank you for being with us during this whole session. We encourage you to keep on subscribing and of course share this video to as many people as possible. We need to empower our communities with financial education so that we can have a financially healthy society. Benjamin, you're saying, I have been thinking of teaching my princess about money, even though I didn't get that from my parents, but this webinar has given me a great start. Thank you so much. This is so encouraging, Mr. Sam. Personally, I really, really appreciate you for sharing us this wisdom that you have. You bring it out in a more fun way and makes it easy for anyone to get the foundation to start teaching about money to their children. Once again, thank you so much. So until then, we'll see each other next time. And Mr. Sam, thank you so much. Pass our greetings to your family and to everyone in Los Angeles, and of course to the USA fraternity. We really say thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you.